Hello friends, today I'll be discussing about who is a Hindu. First, I'll go forward with the introduction, then who is a Hindu in general parlance and who is a Hindu in legal parlance, and then I'll be concluding. Law was considered to be supreme and above the king himself. Law was of a divine origin, meaning that it emerged from God himself and were passed on to the sages in the form of Shrutis. Shrutis are one of the sources of Hindu law, as discussed in my previous video related to sources of Hindu law. Brihaspati stated that Dharma Shastra should be applied through rule of reason to suit the modern time. The word Hindu was coined by the Persians, who meant people situated to the east of river Sindhu. Today, Hinduism is no more restricted to Brahmanism alone, and it envisages Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and a lot of other beliefs. A Hindu way of life is one where one could attain moksha through four yogas: Jnana Yoga, which meant through knowledge, Bhakti Yoga, which meant through devotion, Karma Yoga, which meant through work, and the notion that work is worship, and Raja Yoga, which meant attainment of moksha through controlling of mind, and the path through meditation. What is dharma? Dharma, in simplest term, refers to duties. There are four types of dharma: Sanatana dharma, Varnashrama dharma, Apadharma, and Swadharma. Sanatana dharma refers to the notion that the whole world is one big family and belief in Loko Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, meaning that everyone should be there for each other's welfare. And Varnashrama dharma. Ashrama refers to stages of life. Hinduism advocated for four stages of life. First one is Brahmacharya, second one is Grihastha, third one is Vanaprastha, and the fourth one is Sannyasa. Brahmacharya refers to childhood, and Grihastha refer to domestic relationship, and Vanaprastha refers to gradual withdrawal from worldly desires, and sannyasa refers to renunciation of world. There are other dharmas like Nitya Dharma, which meant everyday duty, and Naitika Dharma, which meant dharma performed to attain moksha because of specific reasons, and Kamya Yoga or Dharma, which meant attainment of desire for a specific outcome. Let us understand who is a Hindu. The Persians said Hindu is a one who is situated to the east of river Hindu or Sindhu. A Hindu today is a practitioner of Hinduism. He can be Hindu by birth or by religion. And Hindu law envisages both. In narrower terms, Hinduism is restricted to interpretation of Veda, performance of yajna, and Varna system. Let me tell you clearly, there was role for Varna system but not Jati system or the caste system. The four Varnas under Hindu law are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. In broader term, Hinduism is envisaging even Jainism, Buddhism and Sikhism today. We have understood a Hindu in general parlance. Let us understand it in legal parlance. A Hindu can be a Veerashaiva, a Lingayat, a follower of Brahmo Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, or Arya Samaj, a Buddhist, a Jain, or a Sikh. Let us understand these terminologies. A Lingayat is a person who believes in monotheism and believes that Shiva does not have any akar and is omnipresent and omnipotent. A Lingayat is the one who opposes caste discrimination and vouches for social equality. A practitioner of Brahmo Samaj. Brahmo Samaj originated from Rajaram Mohan Roy, who advocated for monotheism and rejected idol worship. And Prarthana Samaj also advocated for monotheism and idol worship and gave women equality and fought for women's rights to equality. And Arya Samaj believed in authority of Veda and is also monotheistic and rejected idol worship and was started by Swami Dayanand Saraswati, a Buddhist. A Buddhist is one who believes in ahimsa and satya and believes in attaining of nirvana after the sufferings of mankind end. Buddhism are of two types, Mahayana and Trivada. There is something called as Bodhisattva under Buddhism, wherein it is believed that Buddha is a part of the universe itself. Let us suppose that there is a tree and Buddha is sitting under the tree. So, all the beings around him are a part of Bodhisattva. Jainism is a religion which believes in Tirthankaras. It places gurus on par with the God Himself. Sikh are people who follow the teachings of Guru Nanak and his contemporaries. The term Hindu does not include a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew, and a Parsi. Mohammedans are the ones who are governed by Sharia law. Christianity or the Christians are the ones who follow the New Testament, and Jews are the ones who follow the Old Testament, and Torah is the religious text of Jews. Jews are of two types, Reformist Jew, Orthodox Jew. A child whose both parents are practitioners of Hinduism becomes a Hindu, and a child whose either of the parent is Hindu and is brought up as a Hindu becomes a Hindu. And a child who converts to Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, or a Sikh can become a Hindu. Many a times, what happens is a person will have married a wife under the Hindu rites and rituals, but he will have taken another wife after he converts to Mohammedanism. Let me tell you here, that case falls under the case of bigamy and that is prohibited under the Hindu Marriage Act. So what happens in case of children who are born through such a wedlock? The children who are born through such a wedlock become illegitimate but will be deemed to be legitimate for the purpose of succession and maintenance. The Kachi Memons or the Khojas were one of the community under the Mohammedan law who were known to be governed by Hindu Succession Act when it comes to succession. But after the passage of Muslim Personal Law Application Act 1937, these started to be governed by the Muslim personal law or the Sharia law. What happened to the Hindus who converted to Christianity before the passing of Indian Succession Act of 1927? These converts had to either elect to be Hindus or renounce the Hindu law of succession. But after the passage of Indian Succession Act of 1927, they were governed by that law. Thank you for listening to my lecture on who is a Hindu.